Hey everybody, it's Ron from Ron's Basement. Thank you for joining me today. I have a quick video for you, not so much specific to the gold mining, precious metal mining industry or segment or sector or whatever you want to call it, but more about big picture. And I was thinking this morning about the different kind of investment options I have outside of precious metal mining stocks where I happen to be very highly concentrated. Right now, I have about half of my investable capital in the precious metal mining stocks, and the other half is, well, maybe not quite half, but a little less than half, is in basically money market cash. And I was thinking about, like, well, what else could I do with this money? And I started thinking about the different options I had, and I was like, I can't come up with any other idea that seems appealing to me outside of the mining stocks right now. You know, when I think about cash, and I want to have a kind of cash there as a buffer and a margin of safety, but you're basically guaranteed to lose whatever the inflation rate is every year with your money that's sitting in cash. So if you keep all of your money in the bank account or a CD or a 10-year bond yielding 1.63%, you're basically guaranteed to lose money every year. So cash, while it's good for a kind of margin of safety, obviously is not a good investment decision in this high inflationary environment. Now, cash possibly could come in handy if there's a crash. You add an R to cash and you get crash between the C and the A. Obviously, if things, if the bottom falls out, you're going to be like, oh, I'm glad I have some cash because I can swoop in and buy some assets on the cheap. I'm not banking on that happening. I keep kind of a high cash balance just because the rest of my money is in what are traditionally considered very risky assets, the precious metal mining stocks. So I use that cash to kind of balance off the portfolio, if that makes any sense. The other option we all have is just investing in other stocks in the stock market. And when I look at that, it's just crazy how overvalued most of the components of the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ and the Russell 2000. I mean, when you look at almost any historic measure and you apply any common sense to how high these stock prices have gotten, not the gold miners or the silver miners, but the AT&Ts of the world, the Apples, any of these stocks, when you look at them on a historical basis and a common sense basis, Microsoft, I calculated this a few weeks back, was at the time, according to my calculations, was selling at 13 times their annual sales. The market cap of Microsoft was 13 times the level of their annual sales. That's like higher than a lot of the bubble stocks got during the tech bubble. So, that's just one example. But in my opinion, when I look outside of cash, where else could I go? Well, I could put money in the NASDAQ or whatever. Those prices are already richly valued and not, to me, very attractive. Okay, now look, I guess, we could defy gravity for a lot longer and they could continue to go up. I think the overall general stock market is probably going to be flat for a decade or so. But when I look at, one more thing you can look at is real estate. I'm not into owning rental houses. I think that, and with the rapid appreciation we've seen in real estate prices over the last 2 years during the pandemic, real estate prices have gotten kind of out of hand as well. So that, to me, is not a real attractive place to put money right now. 5 years ago, 10 years ago, in hindsight, yes, sure. But right now, I don't see real estate as a real attractive investment. I don't follow farmland that closely, but I imagine farmland has gotten very pricey as well. So So at the end of the day, when I sit back and look, I'm like, what is there any sector that's undervalued right now? And oh yeah, the precious metal mining sector, where you can still buy companies for, with market caps of maybe 2 times their annual sales, and you can still buy companies where their net tangible assets, that means the assets they own after you take out the debt, so their net tangible assets are close to the market cap, or in some cases more than the market cap of the company. When you compare those kind of ratios and those kind of financial metrics in the precious metal mining sector to the rest of the market, it's unbelievable the value represented within the precious metal mining sector. So I can't see anywhere else that, I'm kind of a dumpster diver, always have been anyway. A raccoon, dig through a dumpster looking for a treasure. And right now, to me, the treasure, pardon the pun, is in the gold mining sector. On top of that, a lot of these companies, the ones that are in production, are generating great profit, great cash flow. Sentiment is near, it's picked up a little bit lately, but near the bottom of the barrel, so there's like huge room in many different areas for improvement. And, if you believe that the gold price is going to maintain, right now it's right under 1,800, or even possibly go up in the future, I mean, what a great opportunity. Let me end with this. And again, I forgot to mention that this is not investment advice. I'm a guy in my basement just sharing my opinion. Don't buy or sell anything, adopt puppies, anything based on what I'm telling you here today. But one last thing, think about this. Think about this with a gold mining company. If you've got a gold mining company in production, okay, 3 things could happen that could be positive. In some cases, one of the 3 happening will result in a higher stock price. But if 2 of the 3 happen, you get a much higher stock price. If 3 of the 3 happen, you get an explosion. That's where you hear these 5-bagger, 10-bagger, whatever. So the first good thing that could happen for a gold mining company in production, or any gold mining company at all, obviously, is the price of gold going up. You know all the arguments for the price of gold going up. You're smart. If you're still watching this video, you're part of the elite smart group, okay? So you know the argument and the basic fundamental reasons why the price of gold and or silver should go up in the future. That's number 1 that could help your stock price. Number 2, okay, some of these companies that are in production, like let's say Equinox Gold, EQX, or Fortuna Silver Mines, FSM, yes, I own both those. Yes, I'm talking my own book. But factor number 2 that could help their stock price is increased production. And both of those companies, for example, have forecasted and real concrete, real definitive pathways to increase production over the next 2 to 3 years. Okay? So if you get a higher gold price and you get more production, those 2 things right there equate to, like, sometimes quadrupling of cash flow, or cash flow going up by 6 times or 3 times, whatever it is. It's going to be a good thing for your company and for your stock price. The third thing that could help the price of these precious metal stocks, number 3, is that the sentiment for precious metal mining stocks is, like most people say, as low as it's ever gone on those graphs. And euphoria is up here, depression and despair you can't see, but it's down here on the basement floor. The gold mining stock sentiment is just off the basement floor, okay? Oh, baby, I just had a horrible coughing and sneezing attack. I apologize for the interruption. But if that third factor, sentiment, were to improve, on top of a higher gold price, higher production, and improved sentiment, then you have a rocket ship. All right, I've gone on too long. I appreciate you watching. I hope everybody's doing well. And like I said, when I look out there at you know, would I rather have my money in cash? Would I rather have my money in real estate? Would I rather have my money in the overall general stock market? I don't see it. It's a kind of a irony or a paradox that when you look at a gold mining stock, that it's actually feels safer than those other options. And don't forget one more final thing. When you own a gold mining stock, you own gold in the ground. You know, like Equinox has, I think almost 30 million ounces of resources in the ground, all of which are contained within projects that have mines either built or being built, so that stuff's going to actually come out of the ground. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you soon.